Film is an art form, my favourite art form. It allows for limitless creativity through a whole range of mediums and genres. The possibilities are genuinely endless. I find it so incredible that by displaying a sequence of photos on a screen at 24 frames a second, we can create a fluid, beautiful spectacle to display love, loss, grief, pain, joy and sadness. An art form to emulate friendship and loneliness. A film's ability to make us feel a certain way is awe-inspiring. Every director, every crew member and every actor is an artist, and the point of art is to make the audience feel the emotions that the creator intends, or to leave something up for interpretation. Now, whilst all good mediums of art can achieve this goal, I particularly love when it is done by films, as it can happen in both the most complex or simplistic ways. I simply adore the fact that a silly little shell with one googly eye can make me feel both such intense joy and sadness. The fact that a massive marshmallow can fill me with glee with a fist bump. I'm in awe of the space opera that defined my childhood, of the dancing psychopath that made me love one of the best songs ever made even more than I already did. I love my film about bagels and taxes, the absurdity of a fox pulling off the greatest heist in history. I can't believe that I go from crying with laughter to properly crying at a man trying to protect his son. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, what's your point? Well, I'm trying to show you the colossal scope of themes that films can touch on, and the wide spectrum of emotions they can invoke within us. Film is such a diverse art form that can make us both laugh and cry, often at the same time. While some other mediums are confined to one theme or genre, a film can completely switch its tone without hesitation. For example, let's take a look at Life is Beautiful by Roberto Benigni. The first act of this film is a hilarious comedy that makes use of Charlie Chaplin-style slapstick along with witty dialogue to make the audience laugh. However, the second and third acts of Life is Beautiful are the complete antithesis of this light-hearted tone. This film quickly becomes one of the most devastating things I've ever watched, with the juxtaposition between the opening and the rest of the film making the feelings all the more powerful. The film's core message is that optimism can persevere throughout even the most heart-wrenching of situations, showing the incomprehensible resolve of the human spirit. Whilst this same message and tonal shift could be achieved in a book or a play, I believe it works best when shown through a film. Film allows storytelling through visuals, using cinematography, scene composition, editing, physical actions, and the facial and bodily expressions of the actors, but also through audio, either by the voices of the actors, sound effects, or music. All of these different aspects culminate in an art form like no other, an art form with the potential to tell limitless amounts of stories. These stories allow us to place ourselves in another person's shoes, to see life through their eyes. Through a film, we can see what it is like to have the entire world ignore you, to slowly go insane whilst being stranded, to completely devote your mind and body to your art, to see what your life could have been like if you had just made one different choice. We can see the experiences of different genders, sexes, ethnicities, cultures and sexualities. We can be united by the core message of a film, or divided as we pick sides between our favourite characters or over a certain topic. We can spend a day in worlds that we could only imagine, receiving flowers from weapons of war or flying our planes across the Adriatic. We can watch gangsters gain power, lose everything, eat tasty burgers. We can watch dinner party guests lose control of their body and dance to the Banana Boat song. We can watch the frantic ravings of politicians trying to save the world from nuclear annihilation. Or we can be terrified in the world's strangest hotel. We get the opportunity to watch space rebels save the galaxy from Nazis, or to watch a singing man-eating plant grow and grow. We can watch a baby the shape of an airport get progressively sicker, or feel the pain and trauma of every soldier in World War I fighting in the trenches. There are so many different stories to tell that we can go from one man convincing 11 others that an alleged murderer is innocent, to a man becoming a walrus. We can also see ourselves represented in film more than any other media. We can relate to each character, either by literally seeing ourselves through the actions of the character, their skin colour, their neurodivergencies, their disabilities and their sexuality, or with the use of allegories to represent the qualities of people or the hardships they endure. Marginalised groups can see representations of themselves either throughout history or in the current day, either through direct storytelling or metaphors. This allows film to not only be a medium for art and entertainment, but also a vessel to push forward diversity in the most brilliant of ways. Another aspect of film I admire is its consistent ability to deliver a complete and moving narrative in a relatively short amount of time. A book may take you 10 hours to read, or a show may last for seasons upon seasons, but a film can masterfully portray fascinating characters, incredible emotion and brilliant narratives, usually in the span of only 2 hours. Film is a living, breathing art form that can always be improved, yet never quite perfected. As influential filmmaker Ingmar Bergman said, film is all about rhythm and breathing. It's about recreating the life that was collected in the film studio, its lifeline, its rhythm, and breath. It is the job of filmmakers to transform the idea in their head into a living, breathing work of art. This is not just done by directors. Every single person that works on a film is responsible for it, from the actors to the camera operators, the cinematographers to the composers. Every crew member has their part to play in crafting something that can imitate life in such a unique and beautiful way. This can be achieved by any number of ways, not just by creating a realistic narrative. An allegory that displays an emotion or a message is just as effective as a story that is open about its meaning. In my opinion, the intrinsic quality of a film is the emotion it causes us to feel as a viewer. Consistently, masterful filmmakers achieve this goal by creating beautiful pieces of art that change the way we think about life, change the way we look at others, change us as people. The ability to alter a person's entire life using a message in a narrative is why cinema is so important. It's why I love film.
It is amazing. Because it's just static frames with darkness in between. But there's a little flaw in your optic nerve, so that if I run the film at 24 frames per second, you don't see the darkness. It's called the phi phenomenon. Viewing static images rapidly in succession creates an illusion of motion, illusion of life.